So can you tell the difference between, like, this is me speaking, this is Malcolm Sunderland, and then this is Geordie? Like, it's completely different. I don't know why anyone thinks they sound the same.
I don't know what the hell you're talking about. Welcome back to Abe is poking around my odd world again. Hopefully he can escape the meat processing plant. Yeah.
Have we not got another line? You normally have 2 lines or so.
No, that's it. You know, Abe poking around my odd world, bumhole, meat processing plant, turds.
I would have said the meat processing plant would be like your intestines. I'd say the pies would be the turds because it's got processing plant in it.
Wait until the send off at the end of the episode. It comes full circle.
Oh, here we go. Oh, well, I'm sure everyone is now going to just ignore the episode and jump through to that because that is the most important thing, isn't it?
Yeah, very revolting. And while we're on point, we're talking about things that outstay their welcome.
We are
kind of like this podcast, isn't it? What are we, 58 episodes in or something?
About that. I read a 50 something, late 50s.
Yeah, 50 something too many. And on that theme, we're talking about games that started off incredibly well. Maybe the middle was good as well, but by the end we were just kind of fed up with them and we just wanted them to fuck off.
Lovely. I thought you were going to have some lovely, well thought out, written, poetic introduction there, but you just said by the end we just want them to fuck off. So,
well, if something outstays their welcome, that is the emotion you feel, isn't it? You just be like, oh,
it is. I thought you got a third in English literature, and it feels like you're wasting it.
I think that kind of reflects my third in English literature. If you ask me,
I wonder why Disco Elysium didn't want you to do their writing. I mean, to be fair, you could have did the voice of Kuno quite well.
Who the fuck's Kuno? Just a quick shout. If anyone does want me to write their game for them, I am open for business. Yeah.
No one listens to this that has any sway or influence in any industry.
I'm very good at writing euphemisms for penis and jizz.
It's a shame Eurotrash isn't still on Channel 4. You could have been straight in there.
It would have been snapped up in an instant. Anyway, let's talk about the games that outstayed their welcome. So I'm going to go in right off the bat with one game. Well, should we do honourable mentions first?
Well, I've got a couple of honourable mentions. Because we're going to see we're going to do the top 6 games that I've outstayed the welcome. We've got 3 each. What happens if my honourable mention is one that you've actually put in?
Well, then we'll have a conversation, won't we?
Okay, well, my honourable mentions, the ones that I was coming close to, were Kingdom Hearts 2.
Okay.
Very much at the start, the intro to that is a killer, is really, really long. And it's to the point where I think some people probably didn't get to the meat and potatoes of the game, the actual
game. So you're saying Kingdom Hearts 2 outstayed its welcome when it began?
Yeah. How long is that intro? Listen, right.
It's about 2 hours, I think.
And it's not just 2 hours of, like, when we say intro, it's like so slow. The whole Kingdom Hearts thing is built on, Disney worlds and Square Enix Final Fantasy worlds and stuff like that. And there's none of those characters in there, really. There might be 1 or 2 or a couple like you fight. And it's just so slow. And you don't know what's going on. 2.5 to 4 hours of this. Imagine playing a tutorial. It's to the level annoying. It doesn't do this all the time, but it's to the level annoying of when you're playing a game and it's like, press the left stick to look left, press the right. It's that level of annoying for 4 hours. That is outstaying its welcome. The reason it was an honourable mention is because the game gets good and you enjoy it after that. But like, if it was any longer, I'd have went.
I do agree, and I think I would say the whole thing was completely pointless, but there are the Kingdom Hearts fanatics out there who say, oh, it's very important because it all ties into Kingdom Hearts 2.8 half squared times by 3.
Spoiler cast as well. If you didn't work out, right, that Roxas was an anagram of Sora with an X in it, then you're a fucking idiot. Tell you, the same letters as the main character. Man, off.
You don't even get a proper weapon in it. They give you like a sort of lightsaber that you get from the fair.
Tell you what's a proper weapon. Roxas is a proper fucking weapon.
Yeah, he was a bit dull, wasn't he?
Oh, it was the blandest of characters. Well, he was a nobody. They got the names right. Grey Nobody. Yeah, that's who you play for 4 hours. Um, and then my second honorable mention was a game that I played recently, and it was more when I was just sitting thinking about, well, what are the, and it was Crimson Desert.
Oh, okay.
And I'm thinking less, if it was an MMORPG, I don't think you can give it that because that's what they're supposed to be. But when they change it into like a third person action game and stuff like that, I have not picked it up since my initial flurry with it. And I loved playing it when I did. But it just, the story was just going, dragging so long. And I was just like, I don't want this.
The people who I've spoken to about that game, they say don't play the main story, just go out and do your own thing, and you'll have a better time.
Yeah. See, and that's why I took it away because I don't think the game is. And when I first played the game, the reason it was probably taking so long in the story is because I was just going around doing my own thing. So I thought that wasn't really fair to put in because I feel like the story is out saying it's welcome and it's going on too long, but because that isn't really they didn't design that game, did they? They designed an MMORPG and
Yeah, I'm not in a rush to play that one. Um, my honorable mention is Far Cry 3, which I think is a great game.
ooh,
It's outstanding, but it should have ended when Vars died because
but
I don't know if you
yeah,
know, but the main
you're supposed
poster
to say
boy,
spoiler cast
spoiler
before you
cast.
say a character's gonna die, man.
Oh, who cares? Spoiler cast.
The
So the
listeners,
guy,
I've talked to multiple listeners that you spoiled the end of The Last of Us for one of my good friends.
did I?
Yeah, he'd never played it. He went to
Yeah.
play it, and he was like, he says because he works in the Navy. Hello, Steve. And when he goes away, and he doesn't have to put up with the bloody family, he gets 3 months to be on a ship, have a woman in every port, and then play video games for 3 months. By the way, he's the captain. He's not just there putting logs on, so he gets loads of free time because the higher up you are, the less you do in life.
Hey.
And he played Last of Us 2, and he said, "I'm going to play Last of Us 2." I said, "Oh, you love it." He went, "Well, obviously, Boxy's spot the star for us, so well done on that."
Well, stay tuned for this podcast because that topic might be coming in later on. um, but no, Far Cry 3. So the poster boy for the game is Vaz, who is a kind of piratey, very charismatic kind of chap. And you think he's the main villain for pretty much 80% of the game. And then you kill him, and then it's like, oh, hang on a minute, there's this other guy who's far more scary and far more powerful than Vaz. Actually, he's the bad guy, and he's so forgettable, I can't even remember his name.
So do you think it's an honourable mention because what they've actually done is they've mixed up the villains and he should have died first and Var should have been the big
Yeah,
guy baddie at the end? Right,
that would have
okay.
been a very quick fix, but
So
I really like the game overall.
yeah, yeah.
So
Well, when I was starting to think of this, I thought a little bit about Far Cry 2 because I couldn't get through that. And I think it's because Far Cry sort of what I've seen, because Far Cry 2 actually put me off the series and I've not really played any Far Cry after Far Cry 2 at all. But what I've seen is it looks like you start off at the bottom and it sort of becomes a power fantasy. You end up having ridiculous amounts of guns and stuff like that, and you can take on anyone. Um, Far Cry 2 doesn't do that. It's brutal all the way through, and you've got malaria, and you need to keep taking your pills and getting your pills. And it just was a slog, and I was just like, nah, stop, not playing
Far
this.
Cry 3 is better.
All the Far Cries, from what I've heard, are better. I've just missed out on that series because that game spoiled it. Same as why I missed out on Burnout. First
Anyway,
Burnout.
look alive because here come the top six.
Okay, then what's your first one then, Boxy? In no particular order.
Okay, a game I fucking hate. Darksiders 2.
Okay, Darksiders 2. So if you don't know Darksiders 2, it is a game where it's third person, isn't it?
Yeah, it's God of
And
War.
it's God of War, but you play as the four horsemen of the apocalypse.
Yeah, so in Darksiders 2, you play as Death. And the game is about 24 hours long, and it should really be about six, because that's
Okay.
as much of ideas as it has. So I started playing. I really like Darksiders 1, even though it's pretty much ripping off every other game on the planet. And Darksiders 2 pretty much does the exact same thing. It's ripping off God of War, it's ripping off Zelda, it's ripping off Metroid, it's ripping off Portal. But fair enough. I can cope with that. But the whole game is just this framework of clear out enemies, find three things to open a door, go into the next place, have a boss battle, rinse and repeat for 24 hours.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I got so annoyed with it by about the 17, 18 hour mark, thinking that it might do something different and a bit more original, but it didn't. and
Is
I
there
hate
like
the gameplay.
story plots going through these, or is
There
it
are,
just
yeah, but
for the?
it's not interesting enough to kind of stick with it. And all right, fair enough. It was a kind of 2010 kind of game,
Mhm.
so later stage PS3. But there are games out there that did a lot more original things and had fresher ideas. But even if they just cut it down to be like an 8 or a 10 hour game, it would have been a
Yeah.
hundred times better.
So do you think they've just thought number two, big is better, and they've just put more of the same crap in rather than actually thinking what would extend the game and make it better?
Yeah, and they kind of do this weird thing where there's this big open world, but there's just fuck all to do in it.
Yeah.
And so you're just traversing across kind of emptiness, trying to just get to the next space and then doing these endless combat encounters. It's that kind of thing where, like, because God of War's guilty, old God of War's kind of guilty of this, is like you clear out the enemies, but they just keep on coming. You're just like, for
Yeah.
God's sake, let's just end this now. So, like, the door opens.
Hmm.
Like, that sums up the whole game for me. Darksiders
Yeah.
2.
Well, my first entry is very similar in a way because it is a game from the Assassin's Creed universe, and it's Assassin's Creed Odyssey. Now, a lot of people would say Valhalla, but I played Odyssey, and when I was playing Odyssey, I was in my platinum hunting stage, and I do have the platinum for Odyssey, so I've obviously probably put more time into it than needed to be put into it. But in general, the they tried to do a soft reboot. Assassin's Creed did great. Assassin's Creed 2, the Ezio trilogy, did brilliant. Started to go downhill with 3, and they weren't getting as many sales with Syndicate and one set in France, whatever that one is. Then they sort of half pulled it back with Black Flag, but it wasn't really an Assassin's Creed game. And I'm going to
It's
be
a horror
testing,
game.
and I'll be testing that one out soon.
Ooh,
Oh.
look forward to that.
Well, you liked my pressing the button every time someone swears in Scarface.
Mm.
When I finish that, I'm going to have two timers on the stream, and I'm going to stream the new resynced, and I'm going to press a timer when it's assassin game, and then press a timer when it's pirate game, and at the end, see what percentage of it was pirate and what percentage was Assassin Creed.
God almighty. You're like the Bill Nye of video games, aren't you?
Anyway, that's for the future. But they tried to do a soft reboot with Assassin's Creed Origins, which was the Assassin's Creed. Obviously, it was where the whole Assassin's Creed started in ancient Egypt, and it was a great game. I loved it. They did start to go down the service model at this point. There's a lot of DLC I haven't played for it, but when I just played the base game with Bayek, I think it is, I really enjoyed it. So I was excited for Odyssey, which was the second one set in Greece and around the Greek islands and stuff, and they just overbloated the map. It was huge and massive, and it was the same as what you said. There was nothing to do with it. It was rinse and repeat and rinse and repeat. And I thought the story as well went a little bit stupid. And there's always obviously supernatural stuff in Assassin's Creed. That's the whole point of it. It's from people who were there before creation and stuff like that. But it just went like to the point where you're fighting the Minotaur and stuff, and
Mm.
then you go to the future and some Greek dude still alive. I don't know, some famous Greek dude like from the myths and legends. Can't remember. Not like a Hercules or something. It was like a who was Icarus's father?
No idea.
Like
Zeus.
no, Icarus's dad was obviously Icarus flew too close to the sun, didn't he?
Yeah.
Or his dad was the inventor in prison with them. Who, anyway, it was someone like that, and he's still alive in the future. And I was like, oh Christ! But it just went on and on and on, and it links into Valhalla because lots of people say Valhalla is too long. Like
Mm.
it is apparently longer. I played every Assassin's Creed game up to Odyssey, and I completed Odyssey. And when people said Valhalla is longer, and at the time I was
Mm.
still a platinum hunter, I just went, nah. And I've not played that. I've got it, Valhalla. I've got Mirage. Haven't got Shadows. And I've not played them. Just stopped the series. Even the good games, bad games. I thought I like this series. I give them a go. I just thought, nah, there's no way I can play a longer version of that. So it actually, I didn't like that game, and it stopped me playing the series. So that's how long it stayed out. It's welcome.
It outstayed the series for you,
It
mate.
it did. It
Sad
did.
story.
What's your second one then?
So my
Popcorn.
second one is I don't think this is a bad game, but I do think it went on for way too long. Last of Us Part Two.
I
Uh,
knew you were going to say this
yeah.
one. I
So
knew you were
I
going to say
think there is a logical reason why this game is very long, and I think it is to do with the narrative and the themes of about revenge and not knowing when to quit and
yeah.
pushing things until they're, complete dead in the water, and I get all that. But my God, this game does not know when to stop. Like, it feels like it's about to end about 4 times.
It does have that fake ending, doesn't it? It does.
Yeah.
It does blue ball you a few times through it.
Yeah, and I think that I didn't mind that when it kind of switched the perspectives, went to Abby. I thought that was quite interesting, but like it's right towards the end where Ellie and her partner are like in the house and they've got their life together
Yeah.
and they got a baby and I don't know. I can't remember. They got a life together.
She turns back up after like the second thing, and she's left.
Yeah, yeah,
And
and
yeah,
then they're all happy families, and then she's like, I've still got to go out and do what I got to do, and you're just like, for fuck's sake, Ellie, just
but
call it a day.
that's good writing, because then you are thinking that. And although I did think it was a longer game, I love Last of Us Part Two, and I think that was the point of it. Of this, it is going on, and there's other things in as well. I also think they had to put a lot of time in with Abby
Hmm.
because the whole for me, the whole point of is at the game in that end scene. Spoiler cast. We should have said it. Like spoiler for everything. Stop listening. If you haven't heard the game we're starting to talk about. In that end scene where they are fighting in the water, there is not a chance in hell at the start of the game. If someone said, "Are you going to be rooting for Abby?" Would after they've just killed Joel, would you have said yes? Now I'm not saying at the end people are rooting for Abby, but at the end, I didn't want anyone to win because I understood Abby's perspective, and I don't think that happens from a short time with her. I
I
feel
don't
like you
know.
needed a decent amount of time with her to understand her side and to see it because they'd built up such a good relationship that people loved with Ellie and Joel, and obviously
I, I get that, but it was kind of clear from Last of Us Part One that Joel was an absolute prick.
well, it was, but like people, a lot of people, it's like Boys to Men used to see it, isn't it? My mind's telling me no, but my body's telling me yes. Like,
Yeah, I mean,
I didn't want Joel to sacrifice Ellie in Last of Us One.
no, no.
No
I
way.
mean, I
So
get
you,
that, and I thought that was a very good ending for number one, as it kind of left it ambiguous around whether he did the right thing or not. But I mean, with not, Last of Us Part Two, fair enough. Yes, I get all that, and I think that's very clever what they did, pushing things to their limits, kind of exhausting the characters and the player around the theme of revenge,
Mhm.
but I still think it was too long. And for a single player narrative experience, because actually I was going to put Uncharted 4 in here as well, because I think that game's too long. But I went with part two because I was generally exhausted by the end of that game.
Well, that's how you're supposed to feel. That's why
Yeah,
you got a
but
third in literature. So we'll move on to my second one, which is a better one for the list. Is the game Marvel's Avengers? Because this outstayed its welcome in two different ways. Because it outstayed its welcome in the single player story, because the single player story was terrible. Again, I'm going to move away from the platinum for it because I grinded for the platinum, put hundreds of hours in, and that's what I think jaded me on it. But the whole point of the game for them was going to be a live service model. Now, I was annoyed anyway because I wanted a good Marvel's game, like Spider Man, like hopefully Wolverine coming out, where it focused on the story and stuff like that. And you forget about all the other stuff. I think about Suicide Squad when the Arkham team from Arkham Asylum and stuff and Arkham Knight moved over, they went live service, absolute dog shit. So that annoyed us at first, but they didn't even do a good live service. I remember getting the platinum and playing that game and thinking, who is playing this for fun? Because it was just the same. The multiplayer online stuff was the same enemies, the same boss with a different color on over and over and over and over again. No fun, no variety or anything to it. So it overstayed its welcome because the story was crap, so you didn't want to finish that. And then the whole part they were trying to make money and stuff on, that was even worse. It was so boring and bad online. I can't describe it. It just wasn't fun to play.
yeah, I get that entirely. That game outstayed its welcome in the first hour, I
Yeah.
thought. But no, that's a good one. My last one, because everyone kind of says I just gobble from software dick all the time. But I've got enough self-awareness to
You
realize
see,
when
everyone, like, we have like fan bases or Reddit's talking
we
about
have we
us.
have a bit of a fan base.
All my fans in the comments, woo!
Hey.
One comment of video. Come on, work harder.
Yeah, that'll keep them. Anyway, uh, I love the From Software games, but the one that I got a bit tired of was unfortunately Elden Ring.
Oh,
Um,
okay. Okay,
so
okay.
that it's a crazy big game and it's a massive achievement and respect for what they achieve with that game. But compared to the other ones, I think that game is very well paced for the majority of it, but the ending is such a race. Like it turns into a boss rush at the end.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I think it kind of falls apart a bit after the Godskin duo fight because that boss fight is shit anyway.
I
And then
don't know.
after that, I mean that's the fight where they're trying to replicate Ornstein and Smaug, where there's like a big fat guy and a little man
Yeah,
who's like running around, and it's an awful fight. And I had to cheese it to try and get past it because I just got so fed up.
I just
But
did it normally.
yeah, the ending of Elden Ring is like there's about four bosses which are just kind of one after the other, and they're all incredibly hard and they take a hell of a lot of time. And the importance of From Software games, especially Souls games, is you have the boss fight, then you have a break, and you spend time building up your souls and leveling up and having an explore and just chilling out a bit before the next one. But Elden Ring doesn't do that. And
No.
I thought for that final few hours of just boss, 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 I just lost a bit of the magic that I usually get from software games.
Mm. See, we've got different, obviously, views and stuff on this because, like, it was the first From Software game I completed, so it obviously dragged me in, and like to the point where I knacked up getting the platinum, so went through it again. Like I put like again 200-300 hours in, and I never felt that. I enjoyed it going through, but it, like you say, if you've played loads of Dark Souls, Souls likes and stuff, it's more likely to outstay its welcome for you, isn't it? To someone who that is my first
Yeah.
real sort of version of seeing a Souls like game and stuff like that. So I can completely understand that because I know it is a long game. But I loved it. I loved it. But I do know what you mean about that last bit, isn't it? Because you fight. Is that I'll do the line on his back?
You fight
It's
like Malakov or something, and then
you
it's
fight like the first someone, don't you? Who is a king and he's got like a lion ghost.
Radahn. No, not
Yeah,
Radahn. No,
something
not
like that.
Radahn.
I don't
No,
know. Then you go in and
he's like a Street Fighter boss. He reminds me of a guy
yeah,
from Street Fighter, and he
Zangief.
gets all roided up.
Yeah, it's Zangief. So you fight Zangief, then you go inside, and there's a guy who's like spinning in fast, isn't there? And then
That's Malakov or something like
yeah,
that.
and then
Yeah.
you fight the Loch Ness
Elden
monster.
Elden Lord and then Elden Beast.
Loch Ness monster. I
Yeah.
didn't understand who the Loch Ness monster. I didn't like. I got confused in Silent Hill lore, so I'm definitely From Software lore. So I didn't know what the frig was going on. I was like, why am I fighting like a, a spunk Loch Ness monster now?
Mm.
Where's this from? No one's mentioned. Someone said I was going to get a ring and be king or something. I don't know what's happening.
Different sort of ring with lube.
It is when you've got a spunk Loch Ness monster there. That's what we're seeing. Anyway, so that was your last one. So this
Yeah.
is number 6, right? So my
Yeah.
last one is a little bit of a cheat, but I wanted to put it
Mhm.
in because it's a little bit of a juxtaposition. Again, it's more of a series. And RPG Sanctuary put this comment on one of our videos, and I started thinking, I was like, yeah, that is. And it is Call of Duty. Now, I didn't think initially of Call of Duty because Call of Duty campaigns, which is the main reason I play it for, are quite short, and multiplayer is like an arcadey sport, isn't it? It's not really something that I'd say it's welcome. You just stop playing if you don't want to. However, when I thought of the series, I thought like initially of the Call of Duty Modern Warfare games coming out and how good they were, and then I thought about like the original Black Ops games and how good they were, and just seeing how bastardized they've been, and they brought out the new Modern Warfares, and the campaigns got shorter and shorter and shorter, and then seeing how much the online has changed. Like when I saw Call of Duty Black Ops 7 come out, and looking at that and just going, that is not Call of Duty multiplayer. And that might be saying, oh, it's changed, old man, and stuff like that. But I just think it's relying on a name, Call of Duty. If you want to make something where you're jumping around and stuff like that, Titanfall 2, apparently a great multiplayer and stuff online, but it's a
Mhm.
different. When you buy Call of Duty, I think of the more grounded, modern times, World War II type of shooter. That's what I'm looking for. I think it's outside as welcome now. They've become the Tom Clancy of the gaming world, where Tom Clancy just spanks his name on anything. You know what I mean? All the
Oh
games that we
yeah.
have a Tom Clancy, now to do with Tom Clancy, I guarantee it. It's just become a right. Let's make another game, put Call of Duty on it, Call of Duty whatever. We'll put Black Ops 7, and we're gonna fight like a massive zombie AI. It might be a fun thing, but trust yourselves and call it something else. But you don't. People just want to buy because it has Call of Duty on. So I feel like it's the shorter campaigns. I think of how revolutionary the first Modern Warfare campaigns were. The Black Ops one was. They've outstayed the welcome because they're shite now, and they don't. They obviously don't care about them. They tack them on because they need to. I think the best thing they did was did Warzone separately as a sort of like a Fortnite battle royale type of thing.
Mm.
Great, that's fine. But then now it's even the multiplayer. I just think it's not Call of Duty. It's also it's welcome. I'm not saying it's bad, so I know people will enjoy it, but it's not for me. Call of Duty. It's just crap with a sticker stuck on it.
Fully support that. Well, that was jolly good, wasn't it? So that was Abe is poking around my odd world again. Hopefully he was able to dodge all the slugs.
Was the slugs in the game?
Well, they're actually called sligs, but I called slugs.
At least we know you've got them in your asshole.
Worms.